How's it going, everybody? I am back in Fallout 4, and this time I'm actually going to be doing a final tour of my Murkwater construction site. So, I'm just going to do a brief run over of all the different builds, and then there'll be a couple things in here that you may not have seen in builds before. It's because I built them after. I just added a couple things that aren't worthy of being in their own videos, but I wanted to add them anyway. So I'll kind of go in a little bit uh, more depth on those specific things, but for the rest of it, I'm just going to kind of do a brief overview of everything. But the first thing is I've got this little rowboat out here with all the supplies on it that you need for fishing, for just chilling, whatever, with a little dock to pull up to. I know that the boat probably wouldn't be that functional in the water that is not deep enough to really even swim in, but you know, the water rises and lowers around here, so we'll just say it's low right now. But the next thing I'll talk about is the junk wall around the settlement. So I just wanted to make it look really scrappy and stuff, and not really have a whole lot of repeating textures, and then not a whole lot of bland walls, because you have walls like these two right here that are just I mean, one texture essentially, one straight down from the top to the bottom. So to break that up, I just added some junk walls in the front, and then a bunch of tires and junk and stuff out in front of that. And then same thing over here. I just added a bunch of tires in front of this wall, a little junk wall, and then a couple other different wall types. I wasn't able to build. There's not a whole lot of build room. It probably extends out about this far, so I didn't really add any walls going around this house. It's just kind of on the edge. It's probably the most dangerous place to be if we're being attacked. But back on this backside, I've got a couple junk walls, and then we've got a gate that leads right behind the market, but this is kind of hidden and stuff. And then we've also got that guard tower up there and over there, so this is kind of watched over. And then following the junk wall, we've got a Mirelurk trap cage. So I guess it necessarily doesn't have to be just Mirelurks, but that's what I imagine they'd be trying to catch the most in this area. And I've got some bait in here for whatever's trying to, uh, whatever they're trying to catch. And then I've got a beta wave emitter on top, so that if anything comes in there, it's not gonna just attack the settlement. It'll come in and they'll be able to keep it tamed in this cage until they actually come down to deal with it. Uh, then I've got just some spikes and stuff, a water purifier, some turrets, and then a bunch of junk piled up back here on this backside, uh, just to kind of make it look a little scrappier. Got a light that's shining over this hill, some more spikes and stuff. And then we come over here, you can see this pipe coming out of the water. And down here on this end, there's some corrugated steel to block it off. And more junk walls to block off this area. And then that leads straight into the entrance of the settlement. So I just rebuilt the barn that is kind of just the skeleton of the barn whenever you first get here. Um, I like to rebuild pre-war structures. I love being able to do that, and I really like the way that this turned out, because it's really just a skeleton of a barn whenever you get here, and I think that this one turned out really cool, really scrappy. But I just added a couple things around here. I added some buckets full of fish, some planters, just random baskets and barrels and boxes and stuff. These are in Far Harbor. Then when you come in the settlement, there's three paths pretty much. So that one leads over towards the market, the bar, and then the storage area. This leads to the housing, and then this also leads to a house. So this one is a really small and I think really cool house. So this could be like a survival shack of some kind. Got a little table, then bed and everything that you would need in this piping. Oh yeah, also I added a floor and everything. And if you watch the video on that, you can see how I did that. And then things like these floors and stuff, these weren't in any specific build, so these were things that I added uh, outside of a video. Then the next thing that we'll go to is we'll go over to the bar. So the first thing you'll notice is I added a little guard post right here on the edge of the settlement, like right along the junk wall, just because this is a good vantage point for the settlement. Like of course, you have people way up there guarding and looking out over everything, but down here, this is a really good spot. You know, being able to just crouch down behind the junk wall, and if you gotta fight people on this side of the settlement. And then I'll give you guys a better look at this because this wasn't in the full tour, but I really, really like how this separates like the market from the bar and the storage area. So the bar and the storage area, well, or the diner and the storage area are really separated from everything. And so the storage area or like cooking area and stuff. So with this, I've just got I got a chem station, a bunch of booze, food, stuff like that. And then over here is where they cook it. A couple things are missing. That's just because I had angler meat down before, and then I can't even remember exactly what happened, but I somehow lost that save, so it like reverted back to before that decoration had happened. I don't know. But then we go up to the diner, and I really like the how open this is. Probably not the safest place, but it's really
Easy
open.
living,
You can
this
see that
is.
she uses the uh, wooden uh, like bar that I gave her. And got a little cooking area up here as well, and some food and stuff, and then some picnic tables for people. Also, I changed the staircase up there. I wanted it to be a little bit more interesting. Also, not just a staircase straight up and down. I think that this looks a little bit cooler going up it. I don't think the settlers will use it as easily, but I have seen them actually walk up it and be up there, so they actually do go up there, which is kind of cool. So the next place I'll take you guys is over here to the garden area, and you can see that the dude is currently
Starting to think we're finally safe
glitched
from those
through
gatekeepers.
the garden. And yeah, I've just got some hanging gardens, and I really like the way that these look. They're pretty efficient for space if you guys don't have a whole lot of space in your settlement for some smaller settlements, or like if you're trying to build like a indoor farm or something like that, you could make shelves like this and put planters on it, and it works really well. And so the next thing is you'll definitely notice this, but there's some just filler shacks on the side of the house. I really just wanted more beds because I wanted more settlers. I have up to 9 in the settlement right now because I could only get 9 beds without building anymore. I probably could have built more of these bunk beds, and I only decorated them a little bit. You can see I've just got a chest and a chair. And then, yeah, so pretty much it's just some half walls, shack bridge, and then a shack wall end and roof. And yeah, I've got a couple of the quarter roof pieces from Custom Vanilla Assets on this one, and then this is just 2 uh, pieces from USO. So, or well, this one's vanilla. This one is like the warehouse texture on one of these curved wall pieces, and then this is from USO so that I could block off both of these or that side. And I just pushed it up against the wall of the house so that I didn't have to add any walls on this side. But I got a couch and a chair in here, and then just a couple different storage things for those people, whoever lives there. And for the market, I've got some curtains that are kind of partitioning this area off from the rest of the settlement. And then you can see I've got the vendors in here. This is just a general
I hope
trader,
you realize how much you do
and then
this.
also
That's
clothing
not much,
vendor. So,
but
like the
something.
general trader's got just random stuff, thrown in here. And then the clothing trader has got clothes up on racks and shelves and stuff like that. And then this is where they actually get into the actual stores. Not very like closed off or anything. They're pretty accessible. And then, like I said, there's the gate back here. This is where the gate would lead to, is right behind the markets. Got a little overhang. That wasn't in any builds, but it was in the tour for this shack. She added some sandbags along the backside, and then this leads straight back to the Mylark cage. And this actually leads straight back up to the farm. And you can see that I really like the way that people can travel around this settlement. And they actually do. I see, like, the settlers actually take the paths that I've built and stuff, which I really like. Uh, I really like how they actually travel around the settlement. And they'll actually go up into these tree houses and stuff like that. And I just really like that the way this turned out. I made it like kind of overgrown, and it's got these nets hanging down and stuff like that. I think that it looks pretty cool. But for this pathway, I just made some different styles and stuff. I got a couple planks hanging or across and plywood and stuff over to this shack bridge, and then I got a shack bridge that's like leaning on this log, and then same thing right here. I've got another shack bridge along this side, and that leads over to this like little fishing dock area. There's not a whole lot of water. You're probably not going to catch a whole lot of fish, but you know, we can just pretend. It was a lot more open when I built this, so there was probably a much greater chance of catching fish when I had it a lot more open. And I mean, of course, fish can get through here someplace, you know? I don't know. Well, whatever. But you can see the junk wall from the inside, and I think that it looks pretty scrappy. I left a looks like a place anywhere post here. I knew that I had one someplace, but I really like how scrappy the junk wall looks, and it doesn't look like too many repeating textures or anything like that. And yeah, you can see it's pretty overgrown in this settlement. Stuff hanging down and lanterns kind of from each tree to tree. But we go up in here and we've got settlers hanging out inside of this house and everything. I actually have redressed a lot of the settlers, not this lady though. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And then you come up to the roof, and that's how you access all of the other tree houses. You've got some guard posts at the very top. You can see that they're actually on their post right now, which is the coolest thing to me. That's freaking awesome. Because, like, they're actually doing what I want them to do. But we got another house up here, and it's kind of open, but I had to have it open to be able to give them access to these guard post areas. So this is a really good view over the wasteland, and you can see I literally got attacked by I think it was like 6 or 7 different raiders in full power armor over here, and like there's dead bodies everywhere in power armor. And I was like taking jet trying to steal all the power armor suits and everything, but it just didn't work. But now I've got a bunch of dead bodies that I can't get rid of because they're too heavy to carry. But yeah, up here got someone in coastal armor. That's why you've probably heard it already, is settlers mention being safe from the raiders again, or finally, and it's because we got attacked. It was a huge attack. But yeah, that's the view from that guard post, and I really like how the guard posts have such good views of the area and the settlement and stuff like that. But on the other side of this roof, I've got another little house, and this guy's up here hanging out. And like I said, it's just awesome that they're even capable of coming up here and like being in their house. It's amazing. But just a little shack, you know, up in the trees. And then we go up here. I've got a little makeshift walkway up to this treehouse, which is, I think it's one of those guards' houses. I think I've assigned them to this, but it's got a nice view out over that like river, I don't even know if that's actually a river, but it's a big body of water. And then up to the guard post where I've got a flag hanging, which I thought was pretty cool. I just got it to place
Coming in.
against a tree, I think it was, and it was kind of just like glitched out and stuff, and then I just used place anywhere to pick it up and then place it down. But I've got this guy in like a hunter's long coat with a hunter's hood on and stuff, so he looks kind of dark and mysterious and stuff, so he's kind of cool.
We cut those raiders to pieces. Doubt they'll
Yeah,
be back.
he's excited that we killed the raiders, but just got a couple supplies and stuff up here. But yeah, I really like how this settlement turned out, like I said, and I think that this has been a really fun settlement to build at. Like being able to build all the tree houses and stuff. I built at this settlement a long time ago, and it was just like I built, I mean, essentially a massive like shack foundation building over the water, and I was like, this is so cool. And I just can't even imagine what like I would have thought then if I saw like what I would build way later. Because I mean, it's been like 2 years, I think, since I've probably built here. The first time is what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's just been a really, really fun build and a really, really fun settlement to build up, and it's just been crazy. We've been at it for a while. I think it's a lot longer than I expected. I think that I originally wanted it to be like a 2 or 3 settler settlement. It's built up to like it's still a rather small settlement compared to some of my like other builds, but like I still think that it's really good. I really had a lot of fun building this one up. But let me know what you guys think in this build, and let me know where you guys want to see me go next, because I'm still not sure where I'm going to go next. Uh, I've not really thought about it too much, but we'll see, I guess. Yeah, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. I've got the whole weekend to decide, so the next video will be out on Monday for you guys. So look forward to that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. We're at like 660 subs. I think I've been there for a little while now, around there. It keeps fluctuating. I keep gaining a few, losing a few, you know, but it's whatever. I'm just glad that people are actually watching. It's been fun to have people actually watching me build up settlements and stuff. I really appreciate you guys like tuning in every time that I upload a video. But I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.